What is up, everybody? I hope you're all doing well. Today we are checking out the Cornerstone Music Gear Antique Classic Drive version 2. Now, the idea behind the pedal, it was basically the designer Emilio. He is a John Mayer fan, and he really liked the tones that John Mayer got on that John Mayer Trio record, which those are fabulous tones. And he knew that he was accomplishing that using a couple different boxes. So we had kind of a Klon thing and a TS thing combined. So Emilio set out to create that, but more in just kind of one box. So the topography of this box is certainly along the lines of a TS, but it's way more broad in tone than that, and dialability. So we'll get right into it. On the top left, you have a tone control. That tone control is going to allow you to basically have control over the mids of the pedal. So mids, I don't want to say high mids, it's kind of that mids and low mids. The presence on the right is going to give you your high mids and treble control. So just between those two, it's crazy dialable. Of course, you have your volume control. That's obvious. Gain control, that's obvious. We'll get into all that in the demo. Now you have this mids switch. Now this mids switch is not a boost switch. It's actually a cut switch. So when it's in the up position, it's going to be more similar to more about like a TS style circuit, but you can also cut the mid. So if you don't want so much of that mid kind of hump in your tone, you can use that to cut that, but also still be able to kind of dial into taste the type of mids that you want via that tone and presence. Now the switch next to that is the comp switch, which you have seen on the Gladio, and it kind of adds a sag and a little bit different saturation to the overdrive tone, and we can get into how that sounds in the demo as well. So without any further yammering, let's check out this Cornerstone Antique Classic Drive version 2. Okay, let's get into some sounds. Here's just the guitar into the amp for reference. I've got it dialed really clean so we can have this pedal do all the work. Here is the Antique. Okay, cool. That's kind of how I had it dialed for that opening tone. Let's start by just giving you an idea of the gain. So here's the gain all the way up. I'll stay on a middle position pickup, but I'll also let you hear it with humbuckers. So obviously, as we turn the gain down, we can gun the volume. But, you know, it's got that kind of, I would say within like a tube screamer kind of gain range, maybe a little bit more. So that's what's going on with the gain. Let's look at the mids switch. So right now with the mid switch in that up position, it's going to be more like a typical kind of TS circuit. So it's not a mid boost. Now, if I put it in the down position, that's when it's going to cut mids. As a matter of fact, I'll stay on the same pickup, middle pickup. Hear that kind of low mid bump? There's like a hump there. I shouldn't say low mid, but it's like a mid bump. If I shut it off, it's a little more scooped. And it's more apparent as you run the gain higher. But that's a really versatile option. Now we'll do the tone and presence. The tone control is going to be more of your kind of mid frequencies. As you gun it, it gets it actually creates a little bit of gain. So it gives you a lot of control over just that kind of mid frequency. So between that and this switch, you know, like if you were to throw the switch down, but you wanted just a little bit more, then you could gun that tone and kind of find your happy place. Does that make any sense? Okay, and the presence is going to be your higher mids and treble. So there's all the way up. You can almost get that kind of SRV kind of sting going. Here's around noon. And then here's off. I like it, you know, around there. Depends on what amp you're using and you know, guitar and how you have things dialed. I'm talking about right there. I think when I took the solo with that black Strat, I ended up just diming the gain. I left the mid in actually the more kind of the TS topography mids. And I just ended up turning up the presence and the tone just to get it to sting a little bit. Now, I do like this pedal quite a bit with single coil pickups, but I can throw to a back humbucker. It still sounds really cool. Now, if it's a little too kind of, you know, too much of that mid hump, that's where we can take advantage of that mid switch. And we could probably, you know, maybe back, well, actually we could turn the tone up, but we could back the presence off. That's sounding pretty cool. We can run the volume a little hotter. Now, when I took the solo with that Collings, I actually left the mids up because I liked kind of that bump. And then I just adjusted accordingly. I think I kept the gain all the way up. So this pedal definitely works with a humbucker, and also if you want the pedal to feel a little more compressed, we can throw the comp switch. So right now the comp switch is off. When it's on, it adds a little bit of sag just to the overall feel, which is like on the Gladio pedal. So what it does, it's going to cut the volume a little bit so you can gun that to compensate, but now it's got a more kind of squishy feel. Maybe a little more saturation. And for, you know, like humbuckers, I think this is a really nice setting. If you want to change the mid characteristic, and throw that switch again. So it's a really versatile pedal. It's going to get you anything from, you know, the SRV thing. If you're a Mayer fan, especially that trio record, you should have no problem getting those types of tones. But it also is great, like I said, for like a humbucker guitar. If you want to be able to stray away from like a TS style pedal, but still have a little bit of that TS kind of topography, this nails it. These features are really smart, really well thought out. So yeah, that is the Cornerstone Antique version 2. If you've got any other questions about it, go to the website and check it out. And as always, I really appreciate you guys tuning in, and we will see you next time.